people can. Yeah, so this is the data, and I will post a new data after the class. So I think we have two more cases. So yeah, so I'm going to post that. So what I want you guys to do is first to identify one of the questions that you are interested in. Like, do you prefer running your own business or being employed by a company? Or let me see. Oh, wait. So this one is get others' approval. Okay. Because others will respect me more. You know, this is a some other questions like how will you be motivated? Okay. To avoid being criticized by others. Okay, or because others will reward me financially. Okay, so it just so if you are interested in like studying looking at some of these questions, you know, um, pick one, just pick one. And then what I want you guys to do is to, you can do whatever you want, okay? But one example is, um, let me pick, okay, here. Let me pick this one. So I feel excluded from the group I want to belong to. Okay. So this is the score, right? This is the score. And then what you can do is you can use that score. Let me just copy that score. Where did it go? Oh, here. I just copy this one, copy to the new best value. So this is the value. Okay. And don't change anything yet because we need to know their age, right? So this is the, so I want to compare whether or not different group, they will have different opinion on this. Okay. So this will be my data. And what I can do is now I can sort it. I'm going to sort, uh, sorry, just, so I suddenly feel dizzy again. So if I move my head, I just feel dizzy. Sort. So we sort by the group. Okay. So from here, we sort different groups, right? And I'm going to just use this. So I will just use like the average of the baby boomer. Okay. So we oops, what happened? Why is it not working? That's weird. Just a second. Maybe when I pass, okay, wait. So maybe we need to change the format. Yeah, it's a number. Let's change it to number. Okay. Hmm, that's weird. Did I? Oh, I typed. Ah, see, I I typed the formula wrong. Okay, so for a baby boomer, the average is 2, and then for Gen X, the average is. So we can do this. For Gen X, the average is this. Okay. Also two. Hmm. Interesting. For Gen Z, the average would be, you don't have to do all the groups. I'm just, showing you guys one example. Wow, this is weird. Okay. And then for Gen Y, oh, maybe because I didn't, okay, I think I know why. I'm going to put the decimal points. Sorry, put decimal points. Okay, okay. So now we have some decimal points. Yeah, so it's 1.99 and then 2.08 and 2. Okay, so this is just one item, Gen Y. And then, oh, we have a lot of traditionalists. So you see that there are some data that didn't answer this question, so it's invalid, so we don't use it. No, not some, average. So we cannot use that. So we have traditionalist. So theirs is 2.14, okay? What was the question? Uh, Question is, I feel excluded from the group, okay? So the higher you get, the more you feel that, right? So traditionalist, um, sorry, uh, so Gen Y actually doesn't feel the list, okay? And then we can also do, let me just delete this. I can also do an average for the overall group, okay? So what you can do is, I just use one as example. So, oh, we haven't covered that chapter yet. So delete this. Mm, so decimal point. Okay, 2.06. So what we do is we can try to say, okay, traditionalists feel less um, included than other, than um, general population. Okay, so this will be related to our next chapter, but we can use that. Okay, use this, and then we can use. So this is the mean, right? So now let's do standard deviation. Standard deviation of population. It's what's or sample. Let's do sample because this is sample. So let's calculate the standard deviation of the traditional list. Okay. So this is the standard deviation. And do you guys remember to calculate? So if I want to say um this, when we select someone, that the traditional list will be more or less feel less included than average people. Okay, so this is what we covered. So we can use this. This is our mu, and then this is the x bar, and then this will be the standard deviation, right? So let me see if I can draw somewhere. Okay. Well, I couldn't pull out the whiteboard. Um, hmm, let me see. Can you guys see it? let me see if I can draw here. So I'll just draw this here. So it's like our, remember we can calculate the normal distribution. Okay, so this is mu 2.06 and then 2.14. Okay, so we can use that to calculate what is the z-score, and then what's the possibility that um, the traditionalists feel more excluded than the average. Okay, so we can use that to calculate the possibility here. Yeah. So you can use the formula to calculate that, or you can compare. This would be next chapter, okay? This will be next chapter, but um, I'm just going to give you one example. So you can compare the traditionalists with Gen Z, okay? See whether or not um the the Gen Z Gen Z the X bar Gen Z equal to the traditionalist. Okay, traditionalist. Okay, so we are going to use same thing as what we calculate in previous chapter. Okay, so that will be covered in chapters 8 and 9. But I just want to show you, basically you first, the next few days before we cover chapter 8, try to, I'm sure you guys went over the survey yourself. Oh, I don't know what happened. Shoot, it's closed. Okay. Yeah, so I'm sure you guys know some of the questions, right? So you guys pick one questions that actually you are specifically interested. Okay. So yeah, so pick one questions, like go over this, pick one questions that you think, oh, this is interesting. And then you can either compare, one group with the total population, or you compare one group with another group, Gen Y or Gen Z. But I want you to kind of providing your own rationale, like, oh, my mom is Gen X and I'm Gen Z, and we are very different. So I want to see if it's just us or the overall Gen Z and Gen X are different in some kind of, questions here. Okay. Okay. Does it make sense? Okay. So, so I just want you guys to like find something that you might be interested and then use the data to apply. And then after we go over chapter 8 and 9, you will have better idea. But now first look at this, okay? And then I will go over this again. But now I just want to show you how we are going to do this, okay? So basically you should copy, whatever data you are interested in, and then copy the groups in the column C. Okay. So you should do that. And then they will have corresponding numbers. And then you can do what I just did to calculate the average score and then calculate the standard deviation. And then we can compare those numbers later. Okay. So yeah. So, but if you just want to calculate the average and standard deviation, that's okay. But that's something from chapter 3, right? Chapter 3 or 4. When you use the skill you learned from earlier chapter, you get a little bit fewer points. Okay, so if you just calculate average and standard deviation, that's a little bit too easy. Then your grade probably for this project, the total uh score is 160, right? So your might start with 120. Okay. But if you use something you learn from chapter 9, then very likely you'll get 160. Okay. So that's that. Any questions? Okay. So when you do this, I want you guys to like what I did, like copy two set of data. okay, here, and then analyze here. And then you can write your why you want to do this here. Just write it here. Like I want to study this because, just keep writing it, and then I'll just read it from there. And then when you submit, I want you to submit the Excel sheet so that I see what you did and what formula you use. Okay, I can click and click here, see what formula you use. Okay, does it make sense? Okay, so after I finish chapter 8 and 9, I'm going to go over this again, okay? But this one I'm going to share, I'm going to post the video online. So if no questions, please don't forget to submit your test too. I don't know how many people went to the classroom, and there should be a TA named David there, um, getting your exam or test. And if not, you can either upload it to D2L Dropbox, but please make sure you use PDF and then you put it in one file and the page number is in order. The direction is correct. Um, or you can hand it in to me on Tuesday if you want, because I won't be able to, I'm not going in today or tomorrow. So I won't be grading your test anyway. So, well, if you submit it to D2L, I might grade it over the weekend. I don't know yet because I really don't feel good. Yeah, so yeah, I actually threw up several times this morning. So so that's it. And if no questions, I'm going to stop share and I'm going to um, end the Zoom meeting. Any other questions?
When is this
Okay.
due by? Oh, sorry.
Oh, the final project
Yeah.
by December, let me see, by the end of the semester, but December 5th,
Okay.
December 5th. I will also post it on D2L.
And the Excel sheet you just shared, that's also a part of the project. So all that together would be due in December.
Yeah, so the
Okay.
Excel sheet, just Excel sheet. You just you don't need to type, you don't need to write something too complicated. Just like what I say, like just write something in the Excel sheet and then just write very basic summary of your analysis. Like you want to study this because, what's your personal reason? Because of what? And then what's your result? What do you think? Based on the result, what do you think happened?
Got
Okay?
it. Thank you.
Yeah. So because now we haven't talked about hypothesis testing, which is in the next chapter we are supposed to cover. And then, yeah, so we are going to cover hypothesis test and then, hypothesis, like how to do the hypothesis test. So that's the next two chapters. And then after that, you should be able to set up your own hypothesis and then test it. Okay. And then tell me your result. So that's that. Okay. Or like I said, you can choose to do something very simple, like, oh, I'm interested, to see the average and standard deviation. But like I said, if you use that, you do something simple, your score, your base score will be lower. So, okay. So if not, I'll post the recording and don't forget to register. Classes are filled up really fast. So yeah. So I'll see you guys next Tuesday. I have a doctor's appointment at 11. So thank you. Thank you for showing up today. Bye.